Hello, and thank you for joining me today. First off, I was just wondering if you could tell me your name.
Hi, so happy to be here. My name is Jessica Crates, as in the things that are like boxes.
Thank you. My first question is, what were you before you were an English major? Because it's never anyone's first choice. It's always, where you wind up after your first major didn't quite work out.
Before I was an English major, I was just kind of regular liberal arts, and then I became poli-sci major, which for those who don't know means political science. Just because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I still don't really know. I just kind of know that I like some things and I don't like other things, if that makes any sense.
Well, glad to have you as part of the team. So, let's get right to the meat of it. Why are you an English major?
Eventually I picked English because I just really like really good stories. Specifically by Stephanie Meyer. I don't know if you've ever heard of the series Twilight. I've read all 17 of their books. They're just simply fantastic. Some people compare them to what is it? Harpy, pewter? I don't know what that's. It's something about dumb magic and wizards. Whatever. Some people have compared it to that. I don't think it even comes close. Like Twilight is just so good. Oh my god, that Edward and Jacob story. Oh my god, I was at the edge of my seat for so many books, and then she finally got with one. It was a great time. It was a great time. They're literary masterpieces, and I thought I want to write just like that. And so I did, and I'm so excited that one day it'll be published, and then maybe I'll find an Edward of my own. Oh god, I get so giddy just thinking about it.
That makes sense. Are there any projects you're currently working on in between classes?
Currently, I'm working on my 7th book. They're all about 1,600 pages long. I've been writing ever since I was 2, and I've made plenty of novels, so I'm mostly just here to refine my writing. Some would call it fan fiction, but I think that's a really tiny term. I mean, come on, as long as I'm writing, it doesn't really matter who it's based on, and his gorgeous pale skin or his sparkling in the sun. It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, I'm just writing, and I'm happy, and I have talent, and it's fine, and I'm just going to try and reassure myself that over and over.
Oh, well, that sounds neat. I can't wait to check it out. So, what are some of your, extracurricular activities, hobbies, things you do outside of class, and, just in general, how do you unwind, relax, etc.?
My hobbies are not reading Harry Potter, because I've been told I would like it, but it kind of just looks dumb. I don't really like magic. Vampires is okay. Werewolves is okay. I like demons and stuff like that, as long as there's like a really cute guy that the girl gets to fall in love with, but that's about it. And it just seems dumb. I don't appreciate people would like that. I like watching a lot of movies. Just anything with a really weak female character to be in the movie. Like something that's clearly written by someone who's never really interacted with girls in their entire life, so they just think that they're like this weird archetype that just all they do is just spout nonsense, or they just don't really amount to anything. They're kind of just a filler character, and they're not really interesting. It just shows that they don't really know what they're doing, so it's almost like they just go with what they've seen on TV and just an ever-ending cycle. And they all talk really fast and have weird Valley Girl accents despite being where they're from. I just really like watching movies like that, really weak characters and just someone who clearly has an idea of what they want to do. It's oh, they'll make a girl character, but then after a minute they don't really know what to say for them, so that just gets really weird and awkward.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we go today?
I would just like to say that this is my natural hair color, and anyone who says differently is wrong and it's fake news, and I really don't appreciate them coming at me personally. It kind of just feels like they're attacking me for who I am, and I don't really appreciate when people talk about the color of my hair. Thank you. I'm a natural redhead.
Well, thank you for joining me. It's been really fun having this interview. Hello, and thank you for joining me today. First off, I was just wondering if you could tell me your name.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Wang. Yeah.
Thank you. My first question is, what were you before you were an English major? Because it's never anyone's first choice. It's always, where you wind up after your first major didn't quite work out.
Before I was an English major, I was in accounting, and it just didn't really work out for me because I just found it kind of boring. I did it because I wanted to get a job out of high school, or I'm sorry, I wanted to get a job when I finished college, but that just didn't really work out. So here I am.
Well, glad to have you as part of the team. So, let's get right to the meat of it. Why are you an English major?
I'm an English major because I really, really enjoy, different... I guess I'm really a big TV buff. I know it's a weird thing to get into, but I like writing sitcoms and stuff like that. I really enjoy the technique of it, and I'd really like to write for TV one day.
That makes sense. Are there any projects you're currently working on in between classes?
Currently I'm working on, it's a cop drama. It's about a person who is wanted for murder, and then they escape from jail, and they go on and they apply to a college, and they start going to school there under the guise of a regular student who wants to write for TV, and they get away with it because they've completely changed their identity, and they're always really careful not to show themselves on camera or reveal their voices or stuff like that. It's a really good show. I'm looking forward to it. It's a show where if the interviewer doesn't ask questions that they don't like, that the main character just kills them. See, that's what makes it such an interesting cop drama, is that the cop himself is he's a killer, so it's he knows how they work and stuff like that, but nobody knows that he's the killer. And I know you're thinking well, would it be good plot if they somehow, if there was someone who was onto him or something like that? It's nope, no one's onto him. He completely gets away with everything, and there's no chance of him being caught because he's super careful. And don't even worry about it. Never mind. I don't know why I said he was a criminal. He's clearly not a criminal. I'm just writing a cop drama. Real big fan of Law and Order, SVU, especially the sex crimes division. That really interests me, especially when it involves murder. But that's it. I'm sorry. What is the question? Am I working on anything? Just a few things. Nothing really big.
Oh, well, that sounds neat. I can't wait to check it out. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we go today?
Anything I want to say? Yeah. Jonathan, if you're listening to this, I killed your father and I'm coming for you too. Just kidding. That's just a promo for the show I'm working on. That's funny, right? Oh man, just you can cut that out, right? We don't have to. That's not going to be in this. Oh, okay. You're sure? Okay. All right. Well, thanks. Okay. Then I have nothing else. It's been great to be here. It's good to get out of the house for a change.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for joining me. It's been really fun having this interview. Hello, and thank you for joining me today. First off, I was just wondering if you could tell me your name. Thank you. My first question is, what were you before you were an English major? Because it's never anyone's first choice. It's always, where you wind up after your first major didn't quite work out.
さらにカードを1枚伏せターン終了ダークアーキタイプ見たことのないモンスターだな
どんなモンスターが来ようが俺は俺のやり方でいく。俺のターン。俺はカードを1枚伏せ、マジックカード融合を発動。手札のバブルマンとフェザーマンを融合。現れろエレメンタルヒーローセイラーマン。
攻撃力1400、相打ち。
Ah, well, glad to have you as part of the team. So, let's get right to the meat of it. Why are you an English major?
ハグモ久しぶりだな。
太一、でっかくなったな。
お前ちっちゃくなったな。
ってそれどころじゃない。
ハグモ、あいつの暴走を止めるぞ。
わかった。
Ah, that makes sense. Are there any projects you're currently working on in between classes?
幽体桜大刀な。俺の心臓が止まったら爆発する。お前たちもおしまいだ。貴様。それより取引だ。お前にギアスを教えたのは誰だ。そいつとナナリーは。ここから先のことはお前には関係ない。お前の存在が間違っていたんだ。お前は世界から弾き出されたんだ。ナナリーは俺がシューズだ。
Oh, well, that sounds neat. I can't wait to check it out. So, what are some of your, extracurricular activities, hobbies, things you do outside of class, and, just in general? How do you unwind, relax, etc.?
俺の勝ちだ。
何勘違いしているんだ。まだ俺のバトルフェーズは終了してないぜ。
何言ってんだ。もうお前のモンスターは全部攻撃を終了したじゃないか。
速攻魔法発動。バーサーカーソウル。
バーサーカーソウル。
手札を全て捨て効果発動。こいつはモンスター以外のカードが出るまで何枚でもカードをドローし墓地に捨てるカード。そしてその数だけ攻撃力1500以下のモンスターは追加攻撃できる。
攻撃力1500以下。あの時
効果が発動した後は魔力カウンターはなくなりブレーカーの攻撃力も300ポイントダウンするが。
遊戯のやつそこまで考えて。
さあ行くぜ。まず1枚目ドロー。モンスターカードクイーンズナイトを墓地に捨て魔導戦士ブレーカー追加攻撃。2枚目ドロー。モンスターカード3枚目モンスターカードドロー。モンスターカード。
Oh, that sounds very interesting. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we go today? Well, thank you for joining me. It's been really fun having this interview.
I'm so excited. First off, I want to thank you for joining me today, Professor. I've gone around interviewing different English students on what it's like to be an English major, and I thought it'd be interesting to get a professor's point of view. So first off, could you tell me your name? Yeah, my name is Chuck Peters. I've been teaching here for about 77 years. Obviously, I'm just joking. It feels like that. It's been about 13 years. Thank you. So my question is, were you always an English professor, or was there something you did before that? Well, I used to patrol the Mexican border to try and keep certain undesirables out of the country, but that doesn't pay too well. So eventually I got into education, and this place was hiring, so I just kind of fell bass backwards into it, and it kind of worked out for me. Alright. Okay. So glad to have you as part of the team. So I guess my question is, why English? Well, I was teaching Black Studies for a while, but I had what are called some questionable views, and people tended to disagree with me in class about certain people and who should have rights and who should be treated as equals and who should, not be killed just for the color of their skin. And eventually I'm not allowed to teach that subject anymore. But if you ever want to hear, I got some really strong opinions on that particular audience. Nope. I'm good, thank you. So why English? Well, people have always told me that, Chuck, you got a way with words. You're a real wordsmith, and you're really good at writing with words and stuff like that, and words are always good for you. Okay. Has there... Alright. So are there, so what classes are you teaching currently? Or, are there any projects that you're working on that you'd like to talk about in kind of the English field? Oh yeah, I'm writing my first book. The title is Why White is Right, and it's right to be white, and Trump's America. Oh, you're writing 3 different books? No, that's the title of all one book. It's coming along real nicely. I got 20 pages written so far. It's about halfway done. I'm pretty excited. Bill O'Reilly's already asking for interviews. Oh, I'm sorry. Bill O'Reilly is he got fired. What? Bill? But he's a national treasure. How did he get fired? There was some sexual harassment. I'll leave it to a fucking woman to steer us astray so the man can't say what he wants and stuff like that on TV. I tell you, it's a load of garbage. Okay. So, normally I ask what are some of your other hobbies, but I'm kind of scared to ask you that, so we're just gonna skip and just say, is there anything else you wanted to say before we go? Yeah. I feel like you had an idea to make your Black Studies professor a Southern white racist, but you were too afraid to get really racist, so it kind of just comes as like innuendo, but at the same time it's not really innuendo because it's pretty in your face, and I think it might have been a good idea, but I don't know if it was really funny in the end. I think you might need to work on writing your stuff a little better, because I don't know, I thought it was kind of appalling. Maybe it was because you were afraid to shout racist things into a microphone in case someone was walking by, or in case your roommate overheard, and that might be a little embarrassing for you. Or maybe it's because you realize that people are going to be watching this, but it seems kind of weird to me that you just you were holding back, but at the same time it wasn't really clever enough to be funny. Yeah, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. Super appreciate it. Okay, that's the end of this interview.
Hello, and thank you for joining me today. First off, I was just wondering if you could tell me your name.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Zalis Stalokin. Yeah.
Thank you. My first question is, what were you before you were an English major? Because it's never anyone's first choice. It's always, where you wind up after your first major didn't quite work out.
Well, originally I was a psychology major because I have a lot of mental health problems in my family, and I thought it might, give me some insight if I became, a major in psychology. But things got pretty hard, and I wasn't really good at it, so I switched majors to English. And it's funny, too, because I never really thought of English as, like, a pursuable major, but it was, like, the one thing in high school that I was really good at, so it was like when I came to change majors, I was like, oh, well, I can try this. And it was a pretty good fit. I really enjoy writing, and I think it's also communications, and I think I'm a pretty good speaker. So I really appreciate being able to do it.
Well, glad to have you as part of the team. So, let's get right to the meat of it. Why are you an English major?
And yeah, so I know the question is, why are you an English major? But I don't really know is the answer. There are a lot of things I kind of want to do. I don't know if I want to write a book, or if I want to write fiction, or if I want to write comedy, or if I want to do something else with it, or I want to get into technical writing, get like an actual job. It's never really something I considered. I mean, to be honest, I only applied to college to get out of my house. I graduated high school with a 2.0 GPA, which is not enough to get into college. I had a pretty rough home life, and I kind of just applied to college just to get there. And I mean, I think I've done pretty well since here, but I never really had a like exit strategy. It was sort of just like go to college so I could have a couple of months out of the year where I wasn't in a terrible household. And that's things have drastically changed since I applied. That was like 4 years ago. So now that I'm leaving, I'm I'm getting a little scared, but it is what it is.
That makes sense. Are there any projects you're currently working on in between classes?
No. I don't have any projects I'm working on. And to be honest, that kind of makes me feel a little inadequate, because most of the other majors I've met, they're all doing things with their life, or they're all ready to leave college. They have jobs lined up, even English majors, which is supposed to be a difficult field to find a job in. They're already, signed up and ready. They've got jobs waiting for them. I'm actually crazy jealous of the people who have like novels written, or like currently writing projects and stuff outside of class. It's not something I've really ever been able to do. Basically anyone who's doing anything with their life other than just like kind of coasting, I'm kind of a little jealous of, and I'm not really doing anything besides that. So,
Oh, well, that sounds neat. I can't wait to check it out. So, what are some of your, extracurricular activities, hobbies, things you do outside of class, and, just in general? How do you unwind, relax, etc.?
My hobbies, just play a lot of video games, really. I really enjoy the writing in them. At one point, I wanted to write stories for video games, but then I realized so does everyone else on the planet, and I think I'm good at writing. I don't know if I'm good enough to write like a full length like story, so I don't think I could ever do something like that. I also am really into stand-up comedy. Like, I really enjoy watching it. I've probably watched like 100 different comedians, something like that. I've gone to a bunch of live shows, and for a while I thought that was the only thing I could do. Like, this was before I went to college. I thought I would have to, that was the only way I would ever be successful, is if I did something like stand-up comedy. So I was really into it, and then life gets in the way. I never really tried. I was too scared to fail, so I just never went and tried. Yeah, it was whatever.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we go today?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I like to make comedic things, or I'll have like a good idea, and then I won't really flesh it out, and that just gives more anxiety. It's things you may not have known about me. Actually, super anxiety filled. I kind of have really bad self-worth issues too, where I don't understand why anyone would talk to me, let alone be friends with me. So anytime I have a conversation with someone and it's not like necessary, like they don't need me for something, I kind of just assume like whatever they're doing, they're just being nice. Like there's no real connection, and they're not like, oh man, I have to talk to Zalis. It's like, man, it's really, and just kind of anyone in general, if they're ever like want to hang out, I'm just kind of like, oh, you don't really want to, you're just being nice. So making a video and stuff like that is fun and all, and but I don't know, like, I mean, I'm using a sock puppet because I don't like being on camera, so that's fun. And it's kind of awkward that the sock puppet is the realest character in this entire video. I think it's kind of awkward, but I mean, if you haven't figured it out by now, it's not really. That's not really them talking. It's just me. It's all just been like a weird mockumentary form for me to kind of be like, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life, and I have good ideas, but I don't really flesh them out. That's the moral of of the story. You're not supposed to talk about the moral of the story. But here I am doing it anyway. So I hope you enjoyed my video, but there is no ending. It just kind of falls off and that's it. There's a lot of weird whisper talking. And then that's it. It's just kind of like, oh, what did I just watch? I don't know. But maybe it was entertaining. Thanks.
Well, thank you for joining me. It's been really fun having this interview.